Right, so we've got this DNA on the floor. It's probably time that we use it. Welcome back, everyone, to Create Dinosaurs. Episode 23 now, where, yeah, I would like to get to work working with, like, our avian dinosaurs and everything. Again, they're not technically dinosaurs, they're technically pterosaurs, but everyone calls them dinosaurs, so I'm gonna be calling them dinosaurs. So, yeah, right here, we have a bunch of flying dinosaurs and everything, and we've been working to get them over the past few episodes, and it's finally time we built their enclosure. And if you guys have been keeping up with the series and stuff, then you will know what this enclosure is. We are going to be building a massive aviary. You know, like the one in Jurassic World, and I guess kind of Jurassic Park 3. Yeah, we're going to be building a huge glass dome and everything, because finally, as we discovered last episode, my glass farm has been working a lot of overtime, and yeah, it has managed to get us all of this. Look at this. Every single chest, every single hopper is filled with glass. There's a lot here, and we're finally gonna put it to use. And the thing is, even though this isn't a build that I have planned out, like, I've got no schematic of it anywhere, there's nothing that I can really use to base this build off of, we're not entirely going to be building it by hand. And to explain this, we're gonna need to go to a testing world. So welcome everyone to my thumbnails world, which I'm going to be hijacking for this. So obviously, we all know what the aviary is supposed to look like and everything. It's going to be a massive glass dome, obviously with a few extra details added here and there, but the base thing that you need to remember is it's a glass dome. And whilst of course I could just go and build a dome like this and everything, like I could manually place every single block. Let's see, is that a dome? Well, kind of. You know, whilst I could do this, it's not exactly quick, is it? And also, there's a lot of room for error because I'm not using schematics and everything, and I'm free building stuff like this. This might not end up as a sphere. And in fact, even if I tried using like a planning thing or something, like I tried using a sphere generator online, like there's still a decent chance you would just make a mistake somewhere. So this is where we're going to hijack Create Mod. Because Create Mod has a very fun little block called a deployer. So if I go and power this and then I give it a block like glass, as you can see, when it spins, it places down a block. But now here's the thing, this still can only place a block where it is in front of the deployer and stuff, so we need to move the deployer. Some of you guys are probably catching on to what I'm doing here. But if we go and make a machine like this with a deployer that is filtered to glass and has a massive supply of glass in all of these barrels, then once we go and apply some motion into this, as you can see, it starts spinning around and placing all of this glass in a circle. And the other advantage of this is, for some reason, it just phases through blocks. I don't know why bearings do this specifically, but it's very useful for this. Now, the thing is, this works fine on like a smaller scale and everything. It doesn't have too many mistakes. However, when we enlarge this up to the size of the aviary which we're going to go with, which if you need a reminder is about the size of the Mosasaurus lagoon over here, like it's probably near this circle. Create Mod starts getting a little bit buggy and everything, and it starts missing blocks or it's placing extras on the other side and everything, and luckily there's kind of a fix for that. Although it's a bit of an annoying fix because essentially just what you need to do is just lower the speed down to 1. This speed right here. And once again, you might be thinking, Pineapple, this is a great solution, but like, it's a circle. And you're correct, it is indeed a circle. This is not useful to us. But then if we go and do something like this, and we make a semicircle out of a bunch of deployers with glass, and then we power that, then as you can see, we've got a dome. And like, this is a pretty perfect sphere and everything. The one thing is, you might notice it's a little bit wider than it is tall. So like, we've actually got a little bit more of an oval sort of thing, and that is because, of course, the way the deployer works, it doesn't put the block where the deployer is, it puts it 2 blocks in front of it. So if you actually wanted to get a perfect sphere with this, then what you would need to do is, instead of sort of attaching it at the same level as the deployers, what you would would instead do is sort of have like your circle of deployers here, but then you would attach the bearing up here, because then that means that all of the blocks are placed here and it's around the same point that the bearing is attached to. So yeah, that's how you build a massive sphere in Create Mod and stuff without the use of anything like a schematic. Now we've just got to try and build this in survival, which, hopping back into our survival world over here, we noticed a pretty significant problem, which is the fact that, like, we're doing a big sphere, and if each block in the radius of a semicircle of that sphere needs a deployer, we're going to need quite a lot of deployers. So, just quickly trying to work this out in my head, the sphere has a radius of 50 blocks, which means that it's 101 blocks wide in each direction, because of course you need to account for the middle block and everything, so 101 blocks wide at minimum, but of course that would only account for if you were building in a straight line, so it's also got to go like 50 blocks back in each direction as well, and that's on both sides, so I think I need about 200 deployers. I only just worked that out. That's quite a lot, and I really hope I'm remembering this incorrectly, but yep, a deployer requires these things. Brilliant. So I need 200 electron tubes, which means I need 200 of this polished rose quartz, which means I need a bunch of redstone. Great. I have to go mining, don't I? Now, of course, the other thing that a deployer needs is a bunch of brass to make all of this, but the thing is, I'm pretty sure I'm fine with brass, because this just requires... Yeah, I've got plenty of copper and zinc. Although, actually, maybe not even enough and stuff, because if it's 200 deployers and each one needs 4 bits of brass, that means I'm going to need 800 bits of brass in total, which means I am going to need 400 bits of both zinc and copper each. Right, okay, well, I guess I can finally put this copper to use. Great, this is going to be really expensive. I'm gonna be honest, this is more of a mental toll than it is a toll on the number of resources. I think I do actually need less than 200, just trying to calculate it in my head, but like 200 is a maximum guess for it. So I might as well work towards making 200 and just seeing how many I get in total anyway. But I think it might be time for the return of Bigsy Wigsy Spinny Winnie Drill Fossil Finding Machiney. Because, yeah, this is an insane amount of redstone. Let's see, it's 200 times 8 bits of redstone dust. Oh my god, that is quite literally 1,600 bits of redstone. I don't think I've ever had that much redstone in my life. Oh god, and then there's the andesite casing side of it as well. Oh my gosh. Right, okay, so we know that this is going to be an expensive operation and everything. We can stop harping on that point. This is definitely the most insane operation so far, though. But yeah, you guys get how this goes at this point. Let's get to work getting a whole lot of stuff. That's bad.
Whoa, it's me! I'm back! This is totally Captain Pineapple, and not somebody else because his mic was totally not bad for this recording. As you can see here, I just finished getting 143 of these things, and look! They're all holding glass, because wow! And please ignore this pointy tower over here. I don't know why it's here, and I don't know why it's pointy either. Ooh, and look at this! It's a water wheel, and these cogs make it super, super slow. I wonder what happens if you flick this lever. Wow, look! It's working! I cannot believe it's actually doing the thing it's supposed to be thinging. Isn't that crazy? Just look at how phenomenal and incredible the functionality is. Clearly, I'm a genius. Oh, rats, it looks like it needs a restock of glass. But isn't it super cool in the distance? I like watching things from far away. Oh, and just like that, it's magical, it's fantabulous, and it's very, very cool. there's a glass dome. Complete, just like that. Isn't that marvelous? I think so. The only issue is that there's a lot of stuff like this bamboo or these trees that's blocking the glass from placing, so it's time to go around and remove all of those.
Sorry, something in my throat there. Anyway, welcome back, everyone, after however long it has been. I'm not entirely sure. I don't know if that montage would be like several minutes or like 2 seconds. But as you can see, we are completely done with the dome, kind of. Like, I do think I need to send this around on like 1 or 2 more trips. Just like there's a couple places that maybe could be tidied up around the top of the dome or something. But honestly, I think I might just keep this whole contraption here anyway, just because like if I keep it but have everything built over the top of it and stuff, then like at least if something does happen to the dome, I can very easily just send it off again. But yeah, so this is it, the massive aviary dome and stuff, and I am really happy with it. There is just something insanely cool about the fact that all of this got built by spinning a thing in a circle. Oh, that was my axe. Okay. But anyway, yeah, so that is our dome. Our dome is now complete. As far as I'm aware, there are no more holes in it. I am pretty sure that every single gap got filled in. There's a few areas where it might be a bit messy. Like, for example, I can't entirely confirm that there isn't supposed to be a glass block right where the bottom of this bamboo is. But again, at that point, like, it's a large enough scale to the point where we don't need to care. Like, if something on that side isn't perfectly identical to something on that side, you're not going to notice. You can't see both points at any time. So yeah, I'm sure if you zoomed out and like looked at this for long enough or something, you could probably find an imperfection in the dome somewhere, but like, it's just not worth it. But anyway, so I have one last thing which I would like to do today, and it's not actually related to the dome, really. Also, by the way, in case you're wondering, yes, we are eventually going to sort of give this some more stability on the ground. It's not going to be kept as a purely glass sphere. I would like to bring some sort of stone support down here and everything, just to make it feel a bit more sensible, if that makes sense. But no, the issue I would like to solve is with these guys over here. Now, don't get me wrong, I love these Brachiosaurus and everything, and like, I know they escaped from our enclosure and stuff, and like, it's a bit annoying to deal with, but like, I still love them and everything. There's just one slight problem. They're currently in the way. As a matter of fact, you will notice that some of them are even inside the glass of the dome and everything, and what that means is if I didn't actually have deployers placing blocks for me, I wouldn't have been able to build the dome. And guys, trust me, I have tried coming up with a solution for ages. Like, I know there is a Brachiosaurus problem with like the fact that they escaped and they're everywhere, but like, I have been trying to find a solution for a really long time now and everything, and like the comments and the wiki and everything, it's all pointing towards one answer, which I really hate. I need to get a whip and forcibly tame them. And I don't like that. I'm not happy about the fact that that's the only thing I can do, but like feeding them isn't working. I think that apparently has like an age limit. And the only other way to tame them is just to be within proximity of the eggs when they hatch and stuff. And of course, like, I've missed that opportunity plenty of times now. I promise I'm not an absent parent. I just wasn't there for the birth. But yeah, apparently the only way that I can tame these animals now and actually get them to move is if I use a whip. And like, how is this crafted? Okay. And the thing is, I don't like this because it feels mean and everything, but then also like it apparently lowers the dinosaur's happiness as well. And like, it can go up and everything. It's just like, why does my first experience taming the Brachiosaurus have to be hitting it with a whip? The other thing is as well, I might actually need to be careful because they do become aggressive when their mood is too low. So of course, like me repeatedly repeatedly hitting them with a whip could just incite them to suddenly go and slam me into the ground. But right, the other thing which I just need to quickly go and check, what is your order item? A stick. Okay, right, I've got plenty of those. Now, the thing is, I'm probably gonna need to tame the ones in here as well, because, like, I would like to move them out of the trees, which they've all gotten stuck in. That guy's levitating. It's like, I would like to move them out of the trees and also just away from the cliffs and stuff, because they've all crowded up down here, and, like, no one's using the nice enclosure down here. But yeah, my first priority is just moving the Brachiosaurus, which are currently stuck by the aviary, away from the aviary. And guys, please, I'm not a terrible person. This is just the only way. Oh god, and I'm about to just, like, go and jump attack them whilst they're sleeping and stuff, but oh god, that is an awful noise. But, like, are you tamed? Has that tamed you? You're still untamed. Matter of fact, your happiness didn't even get impacted in the slightest there. I think I just did nothing. Am I powerless against these Brachiosaurus? Hold on, right, can I test it on this guy who's all alone? There's no Komodo dragons over here, right? But right, you, sir, I need to, like... I didn't know I could do this. Oh my god, I can control... I am a god of this world. This is amazing. And it's officially tamed, I think. Oh god, okay, yeah, it does airdrop you when you get off, though. Okay, wait, so you're officially untamed. Oh, and your mood didn't even go down that much. Okay, right, so you're fine. Here, hold on, wait, let me give you a potato as an apology. But right, okay, so my plan is with this now, it's basically, so I should be able to order them around, and if I order them to follow me, this should be like a lot of Minecraft animals. If their pathfinding gets stuck, it should be like every other animal where, like, it just kind of teleports to you. There you go. And this is how we're going to get them unstuck from areas where, like, they've just been for ages and stuff. Like, I think they cannot pathfind out of those trees. But there we go. I can just go and do something like this and then set you to wandering. And look at that. You're back in the enclosure and you're completely fine. Right. Okay. So the fact that that worked really easily is making me think, do I just... Oh, yep, okay, we've got another one. I'm really sorry about this, Diplodocus. Oh, God, what's your mood? Oh, you're kind of... Oh, I'm sorry, mate. I do feel mean, I promise. But here we go. Finally, we can get some of these dinosaurs out of the woods, though. This is where they all go and find a completely different escape area or something. Like right here. Yeah, you can escape over this. Hello, Diplodocus. There you go. You can go back to wandering. But right, this guy right here, you're one that I have wanted to deal with for quite a while because you have just been stuck in the ground. Like, if I go in free cam and everything... Like, where are you? Where are you even standing? You're just in solid rock. But yeah, finally, we should be able to get you unstuck. There we go. Rescue mission. God, it only took like 10 episodes. But there we go. So that's all of the Brachiosaurus at least moved out of the forest and stuff. They might all go and move back in there. If they do, at the end of the day, it's not my concern. But now, the thing is, I think if I actually go and put the rest of the Brachiosaurus that have escaped back in here, we're just going to end up with overpopulation, and not only that, it's just not gonna look good. Oh, hi. Because, like, I already feel like there might actually be too many Brachiosaurus in here now and stuff, so, like, I don't think I want to put the rest of them in here. So what I think I'm going to do with these guys and everything, I'm not actually going to go and put them back in the enclosure. I'm just gonna tame them, move them into a better area, you know, just somewhere where they're not in the way of the aviary, and then I'm just gonna let them go, which I'm sure will have no devastating environmental impacts at all or anything, but like I think that's just for the best, honestly. Like, at the end of the day, these guys weren't even supposed to exist. Like, I was only ever supposed to get 3 and stuff, and then, you know, they just kind of all broke out. So I think it's for the best that we tame all of these guys and then we just let them go. So, like, have fun, guys. Go enjoy your life out there.